Hey everyone, Ivy League Gaming here, and today we're playing Raid Shadow Legends, and I wanted to show you guys my first ever Nightmare Hydra 1 key success. Now, this is the team, but it's actually not my first. Let me open up that. So, last week, this key, boom, here we go. So, last week I actually did 45 million on this with this exact same team, nothing changed, and there you have it, my very first one key Nightmare. I attempted Nightmare like the week before, a couple weeks ago, the week before this, and I was able to do it a little, but it wasn't quite there. But I tweaked some things, and here we are. So this is a solid key. Now I did it again, and we got 37 million. I had some really bad RNG, but some of it was also thanks to a couple really terrible decisions. There was one point in this run, which I will show next here, where I'm a dumbass, and I just used Skull Vargal's provoke randomly, forgetting the Head of Decay was popped back up, so I did not provoke the Head of Decay, and then it all fell to hell after that. Soon after that, actually, Mischief ended up so someone ended up eating Skullard Vargal, who's my Mischief target and my provoker for the Head of Decay, and then it was all downhill from there. But you can see this is a solid Nightmare 1 key, and honestly, my builds are not great. They're good enough, but they're not amazing. And I'm going to show you the builds after I show you the run. But first, I just wanted to quick mention it. And yes, I'm super excited. If you didn't already see it, I posted my last video for Brutal Hydra Clan Boss, and I am going to try to post my comps that I do as I go along. I had one funny comment that made me laugh a bit on the last video. Guys, don't complain about this being achievable, or like as far as, oh, well, I don't have a whoever. This is Nightmare Hydra, Brutal Hydra. We're talking end game content here. It's like people complaining that they can't do all of Doom Tower. It's not made for everybody. If you haven't done Faction Wars yet and got your Lydia, you probably aren't ready for Doom Tower hard, all of the floors, and you probably are not ready for Nightmare Hydra. That's the reality. This is made for the people that already completed that content. You did Faction Wars, now what? Doom Tower. You did all of Doom Tower, now what? Hydra. So yes, the lower levels are quite a bit easier to do, like normal and hard for Hydra, but when this comes to Nightmare Hydra, you are looking for end game content teams, end game gear. That's the reality. Sorry if you like it or don't like it. This is not for everyone. This is made to challenge you. This is supposed to be the hardest content in the game right now. And I think they do a good job with it now. I hate the RNG factor of it. I still do wish that a rotation would just stay the same. But honestly, the more that I play Nightmare Hydra, Brutal Hydra, the more I realize you don't need to worry about what rotation's happening. You don't. You need to prepare for all 6 heads in your team. If you prepare for all 6 heads, even the ones that are not part of the rotation, then every rotation is pretty much going to be the same. At the end of the day, it's going to all be the same. Yeah, you'll do more damage because the Head of Torment was out and you had Shamel in your team. Sure, that makes sense. But at the end of the day, you need to prepare for all 6 heads if you're trying to fight for Nightmare Hydra, because you don't know which ones are going to pop up, and you have a lower chance that the same ones are going to pop up each time. And pretty much never. I don't think I've ever seen it in any of the runs I've done, and I've talked to other clanmates about it too. You're never going to get all 4 heads to pop up exactly the same in a Nightmare Hydra run. Not happening. Sorry. So that's the reality of Hydra. It's preparing for all 6 heads if you want to do the endgame side of it. Now, if you're just looking for normal or easy and hard Hydra, it's not too bad. Those have a higher chance of just getting the 4 heads that you start with, so you can prepare it that way and make teams based on the current rotation. But at the end of the day, the rotation don't matter. You got to be ready for all the heads. One way or another, you've got to be ready for all the heads. So let's get to this run. I'm going to talk through the beginning of it. One thing I realized I didn't mention in the beginning of this is why I always target Head of Wrath with Geo's HP burn. Make sure you guys are targeting the Head of Wrath right away with Geo's HP burn, because, well, go read Geo's passive and you'll see why. So let's get to this run. And then afterward, I will show you the builds. All right, everyone, we're going to get it into the run. So this is my Nightmare Hydra key. Again, Nightmare Hydra, guys. All right, so I'm going to start going through this run, and then I'm going to talk about what I'm doing and why I'm doing it, like I did for my last video on the Brutal key, so I can explain my decisions, and then I'll cut it and just let the run play out. But kind of like I mentioned on the last video, if you watched that one, what I'm going to do is, if the run kind of fails, after I stop talking and explaining what I'm doing, I will cut there and then just restart a new run and just show you guys the new run at a faster speed so you could watch that. I do speed it up to 300% or so. So if it's too fast for you to follow along with what's happening and you're trying to watch the decisions made for the whole Hydra run, then feel free to turn your YouTube setting playback to like 0.5 times speed, I think it is, and you can actually make it play slower. So if you're having trouble keeping up, you could actually make it play slower. So let's get to this run. Oh boy, I hope I don't forget how to do it. I just did my Brutal key. Now it's time to do my Nightmare key. All right, so we are going in here with Skullard Vargal. He can provoke the Head of Decay. He's also the Mischief target, so if Mischief pops up, I'm more covered for this run. Now, I don't end up using her A3 at all because this makes her the Mischief target. So Mother Sybil is actually another great option to be a Mischief target with high resist, like the only champion with high resist, and if you use her A3 a lot. And if you put lasting gifts on her, I guess that could help this last longer too. But honestly, this goes for 2 turns on a 3-turn cooldown, so it's pretty good. Alright, so we're not going to worry about this until we need to because of the Head of Wrath. So let's just start to land some decreased speed debuffs. Let's go Geo. This team I do have to deal with, oh wait, no, I don't have to deal with, I was thinking this one I had to deal with the buffs from Head of Blight, but no I don't. That's what Ugo is there for. Alright, we're going to bring in the smash right away with Royal Guard. We don't have an AoE weekend, like Lydia's not in this team. The decreased attack is really helpful here. Alright, so the reality of this team is the provoking, right? So how often are we actually going to provoke? That's the real question. So we want to decrease speed, but unfortunately that didn't land. We need more provoking happening. I'm actually surprised this team works, not gonna lie. I'm surprised this worked as well as it did. Because Skullard Vargal, even though he's in a, is he in a, what the hell is he in? I'm trying to remember now. Is he even in a taunting set? That's right, no, he's not in a taunting set. I'm actually relying on the decreased speed landing and Skullard Vargal being able to take another turn. I think that's what I'm relying on. Let's see if I actually am able to. Yes, I am. See, he came right back to that provoke again. So I have Skullard Vargal at a really fast speed, which I thought was actually going to hurt me for the targeting for Mischief in the long run. But for one, the Head of Mischief isn't always up anyway. And two, having him at a higher speed allowed for him to go twice per rotation at least, to where I'm able to use that A2 every turn, unless he dies or something weird. It gets eaten, of course, then everything gets thrown out of whack. But I can actually use this a lot, so it's quite helpful. But see, I feel like now he's gonna go, and he's not provoked. It might take a couple turns to get it to sync. I know that this was a concern, but then last time when I did it, it wasn't. It was perfect. Like, I had no issues. But see, that was risky. I shouldn't have done that, right? I shouldn't have done that. I knew he was about to go. Maybe it takes a couple rotations to kind of get things in sync more. Mother Sybil is in a Guardian set, so she does die a lot for me. I remember that being an issue originally and wanting to boost some of my stats. I wanted to make my Royal Guard hit harder, and I wanted to make my Mother Sybil a little bit stronger. HP wise. Oh, come on, land the decreased speed. So you saw that was risky. Let's see if it gets into sync though. I remember being surprised that I was constantly able to use this A2. I don't I don't know how I was able to do that. I don't know if it was my order of using of the champions, but Mother Sybil is in the lead. She is a speed lead. Ooh, okay. We definitely need the revive on death right now. Boom. Pop back up, girl. See, now he's not provoked again. This is really interesting for me. Like I said, last time I did this, I couldn't believe how he kept it up constantly. I don't believe I changed any speeds. I really hope not. Hope I'm not missing something. I hope I'm not missing something. Maybe it just takes a few turns. We're still kind of going through the motions, but it's interesting to see that this is not enough, but it was enough for me before. So why? I think I might have had good RNG with the decreased speed landing on the Head of Decay. So the combination of the decreased speed landing on the Decay and... oh my god, it just won't land, will it? And Scholar Vargal being pretty fast, and Siffy's increased speed buff, I think was just the right combination. So it's not enough, though, to keep it up 100% this round, because we're having really bad RNG with this decreased speed. But you know what? We're targeting the Head Decay. He's the most annoying. Even though he's cleansing sometimes, it's honestly fine. As long as I have block buffs ready to deal with the Head of Blight, it's not that big of a deal, and it won't affect our damage too much. So let's see if we got block buffs ready. Please, Ugo, have block buffs ready. Okay, we got it. Yes, perfect. Boom, there we go. Block buffs were ready. Smash with the Royal Guard. He died because of the reflect damage. I don't even care. I had to take advantage of that. It was risky, but I did it anyway. I just have to revive them now, which is honestly not a big deal. I can survive with Mother Sybil being down a couple turns. As long as I get Royal Guard back up to do the damage. Make sure he's not slacking there. All right, guy. Oh. Everyone has said this is so squishy. Why is this run so squishy? See, this is the joys of Hydra, guys. This is the joy of Hydra. So you get it, though. You get it. You want to try to keep up this. Having him in a reflex or taunting set would be ideal. But it's still risky, right? I'm not healing enough with Siffy. I'm not paying attention to my turn meter. I really need to be taking advantage of Siffy's A1. And that helps when the turn meter is below 50%. Boom, she heals. All right, now we're starting to look where... it's starting to look based on the turn meter that had a decay that I would actually have a chance. But this might be a little too far gone, honestly. This run might be a restart. But we're coming back. We're trying. Let's see what happens. We'll see what happens. There we go. Provoke. Yeah, this is looking better. Maybe it just takes a little bit of time, like I said, to get into the swing of things here with the timing of like the changing of everyone's... Ooh. Really got to kill this guy. The turn meter manipulation that goes on with all of this. All right, come on. It just changes so much each run because of so many factors, whether it be turn meter related or increased speed buffs. There's a lot of factors to worry about. So it's not going to stay in complete perfect sync, unfortunately. All right, so he's not about to do his poison cloud yet. I'm actually going to hold off. One more turn just to make sure we have that up on everybody. So hopefully we can decrease speed some folks. There we go. Finally a decreased speed on the Head of Decay. Honestly, I feel like that's what I need the most. That's really what I need the most. We want to keep him provoked the whole time. And then I need to be better. I can save that provoke. I can save the provoke. If he does wipe everyone's buffs, I should be saving the provoke for the sake of, my brain's fried. For the sake of waiting another turn. Because if he has both cooldowns up, you don't really need to use the provoke if one of these skills aren't about to pop. All right, so let's get Royal Guard back. We need that damage. We're lacking here. This is going to be a slow run if our damage stays that bad. Now, we have the Head of Mischief up. That is not good. We have a little bit of wonky buffs going on right now, so let's see if we can get Scholar Vargal. Okay, he is the target. He has the most buffs. We are okay, actually. So let's keep targeting the Head of Decay and try to get rid of it. He's not fun, right? He is not fun. Boom. All right. So that's good. He's about to go. That's what I like. I like him to be able to provoke at the end when the turn meter bar is pretty close to full for the Head of Decay. Then I know I have a chance to cycle back around to using it again. Oh, resisted, you jerk. Resisted. Alright guys, I'm gonna stop here. I'm gonna keep playing the run, and if this fails, I'll just skip to the fail and then show you a restarted run that was successful. But this is a little volatile, as you can see. I really think there's a couple things I need to oomph up a little bit, but it works. I got a great key last time, so hopefully I can pull it out with one try this time. But I think last time it took me like 3 tries, honestly. It is what it is. It's Nightmare Hydra, guys. This is endgame at Nightmare Hydra. It's not easy unless you have a Krisk.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. Everything I do so instinctive and so passionate. Every word I move so descriptive like an adjective. I got a vendetta against people who patented being negative when you should be getting after it. I got facts over tracks, this and that. Spitting slow, spitting fast. I could roast, I could gas. Think I'm okay at last, but I don't know if that can erase all the past. And the pettiness, a reflection of the emptiness. Hilarious, you think you're worth my time, you're delirious. Mysterious, because you hide behind a fake exterior. Inferior, you know I'll always be a bit superior. Get off of me, this ain't no humble brag. I want you to hear words, you can say them back. I want you to feel free from the chains at last, and to believe in what you got, it was built to last, yeah. Now that I've been put through hell, I never got anyone's help. I had to do it all myself. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. Gonna learn the consequence of being incompetent. Mental health is confidence, dreams and some honestness. I'm not here to save the day, that's for you to take away. I could play a million mind games, but instead I say something not illogical, something that is topical. Rub it on and watch it go, make yourself unstoppable. Dreams are irresponsible, but they're always possible. If you just believe, you could be so remarkable. Thoughts in my head, a collage and they spread. I'll be great one day, going off of my meds. No, I'm not giving up, no, I'm not giving in. I will make it to the top, taking off in the wind. I gotta make it, I'm saving every day to taste it. I'm patient, but my mind, it can hardly take it. I'm chasing a dream that I've had for several ages. A vacant, modern kingdom for the taking. Now that I've been put through hell, I never got anyone's help. I had to do it all myself. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up.
Love the chase and the hunt, and I set the pace when I'm running. I always take what I want and I always give it 100. Don't need a bank, no I'm funded. Play the game like it's nothing. I'm always thankful for something. Don't take for granted, stay humble. Now wake up! It's time to look at the enemy. Look in the mirror if he is no friend to me. It's not working out, maybe it's the chemistry. It's time to break up so I can make a better me. Better believe in your mind, cause it's everything. You can mold, shape, find almost anything. All it takes is some time and some clarity to find your identity. It's mind over everything. And when I feel like this, I'm immortal. 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 Don't be scared. my face while he's looking back. Mirror breaks after math. When I hate, I attack. And when I feel like this, I'm immortal. 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 Don't be scared. Stepping up, don't be scared.
Alright, so let's take a look at my champions. I have Mother Sybil in a Guardian set. A Guardian set is really helpful if you can't keep decreased attack up the whole time on all the heads, especially the Head of Wrath. They smack really hard, and this absorbs some of that damage. So you build someone with pretty high HP, and they can handle those hits, which is why you see my Mother Sybil just completely smashed to the ground, dying a couple times there from the Head of Wrath. She absorbed all the damage from everyone else, so at least she helped keep everyone else alive, and she usually died. But that's pretty easy for me to control with Siphi or another reviver in there. Godseeker's another good option, Duchess, Ursula. There's lots of great revivers for Hydra, so there's plenty of options to help keep your Mother Sybil alive, or whoever you put in Guardian set to boost your chances of survival. So I have her with 46,000 HP. This is really low for sake of Nightmare Hydra in a Guardian set. She should be like my, who was it that Ugo? No. I don't know. I had someone in my last run for Brutal at like 65,000 HP. That's where Mother Sybil should be at right now. But it was hard to get the stats. Honestly, what I should probably do for sake of survivability and long-term run is to maybe try lowering my crit rate and crit. I don't think I have anything really intended on crit damage. It just happened to fall that way. Maybe if I lower my crit rate a little and boost some HP, it might be worth it. But I kind of like having the damage on her. It's surprising how much she actually does help when using her A1 so frequently. I do have enough accuracy to land everything for Nightmare Hydra, and I did choose to book her up. Now, I didn't need books in this because I'm not using her as a mischief target. You don't want to use this if you're using someone else as a mischief target. But the books landed there, so it is what it is. And then for our masteries, I'm going to show you what I'm using for masteries. You're going to see almost these exact masteries in a lot of my champions for a good reason, because there are a lot of helpful things that help with Hydra, War Master, or Giant Slayer, of course. And then in general here, this cycle of magic is just really good for a chance to have that cooldown. And then boosting stats, of course, and chances to make the debuffs stay longer, or higher chance for them to land, like the decreased speed. So she's the first one. Then I have Skullord Vargal. I'll show you his masteries here. Same thing, down to War Master. And then we also, actually, he should be in Giant Slayer, shouldn't he? Shit. No, 2 times. It's War Master's fine for 2 times. Okay. I have him here with this. I didn't end up needing the accuracy, so I kind of liked the Retribution procs and Cycle of Revenge here for him. This actually was really nice because when everyone's... I don't know how this worked out just right, but the way my speed is for Skullord Vargal, which is quite fast, honestly, guys, it's quite fast, 271, with the right with this rotation, with an increased speed, with Siphi, and with masteries, I'm assuming too, everything worked out to where I could use my Skullord Vargal twice in every run. Unless he died, or Siphi died, or someone messed up, you know. Unless something messes up and it throws off that rotation. It took a bit. You'll notice in the beginning of my run, I had a little bit of trouble, like, why isn't the Provoke ready yet? I swear it was ready. It eventually, you notice, if you keep watching the run, The provoke was ready every single time. This A2 was ready again every single time. So instead of having him the slowest because he's the mischief target and you want to make sure that last buff is still there, I have him the fastest, so after my Siffy, of course, so that way he can actually go multiple times per rotation. I do have him fully booked as well. He, let me go back to his stats here. He has solid HP. He's a beast. He's super tanky, high defense, 100% crit rate. Wasn't able to push the crit damage based on the stats and trying to get resistance and accuracy on him for sake of landing the provoke, and then resistance because he's the mischief target. This is a bit low for mischief targeting for sake of Nightmare. It's a bit risky, but I think because I had the decreased accuracy of Geomancer, it was okay. So we have that, and then we go to Siffy. This again, same Siffy I used. Oh, wait. This is, I think I showed you guys my wrong Siffy in the last one. It's fine. Oh no, I didn't use her. I used Duchess, that's why. I didn't hear her use Siffy in the last one. Never mind, my brain hurts. This is my Siffy for Arena, guys. She's just my Arena Siffy. She's in some speed gear. She's 364. She's fast, but not insane. Not insane for a Siffy for endgame Arena, not insane. Good survivability. And a little resist, which helps with like things like the poisons and stuff. So there's my fast Siffy. She is what it is. It works. And then we go to Ugo. Ugo is so freaking good, guys. Saved 2-3 Ugos for Hydra. You won't regret it. My other Ugo I used is actually in Relentless gear. This Ugo I was able to get in Reflex gear. Both are great options, honestly. Really great options. Either way, you're fine, I think. 4,000 defense, 60,000 HP. She's a tank in Reflex with high enough accuracy to land her debuffs. And then a good enough speed to keep up with the rotation as well. I do, of course, have her fully booked. And masteries for her, I have same thing, down to War Master. And then just extra stuff to land and have Master Hexer extend her debuffs. Block buffs is just really, really key with most of this in general. Not having a block buff champion makes it really hard. Alright, and then we have Royal Guard. This is my first Royal Guard, but he's honestly needs some work. He's not perfect, but his masteries, I think, are pretty good. We are down to War Master here as well. He is booked, of course, and then I have Reflex gear on him, too. He could use, I mean, his attack is great, but this one is okay on the crit damage. My other one is terrible. The one I use for Brutal is really bad crit rate and crit damage. It's like way too much crit rate, not enough crit damage. It's a hot mess. But this one I do not have any accuracy on. It would be nice if I had accuracy on him for landing that decreased defense and the decreased speed on the A3. But honestly, I just don't end up using the A3 in this case, and I take it as is. I just hope that Mother Sybil is going to use her A1 enough to keep the decreased speed going. So sometimes the RNG sucks with that, and the run, like it took a little while for Skull Lord Vargal to be able to use his provoke skill every turn and go twice because I didn't have the decreased speed up the whole time. So gotta love RNG, right? Gotta love RNG. And last but not least, we have Geomancer here. Geomancer is such a beast, guys. So this one is in my Relentless gear that I swap around. See? Other Geomancer, there's Geomancer. Honestly, I should have swapped the ring too for just the chance of counterattack with extra accuracy landing and damage overall, but it's fine. He is solid survivability, good speed. I do not worry about crit rate, I just worried about getting the right amount of accuracy on him. And masteries, same, I think it's the same as my other Geo here too, from the last video with always wanting this cooldown for sake of Hydra people that are landing debuffs, or even hell, the revivers that you want to have a chance to revive again. Like, it's just a really helpful extra bonus there. But there we have it. Nightmare Hydra, 1 key. Don't judge me in my legendaries or my Siffy, guys. I don't have a Krisk. 1 key, Nightmare Hydra, no Krisk. That's hard enough as it is, alright? So I hope you appreciate this guide showing my Nightmare team that does not have a Krisk or 2 Hanorok, that seems to be the necessary champions. We can still do it without. We just can't do it on auto. Alright guys, thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next video.